The mood is changing, the tone shifting. Restrictions will be lifted next week, but the cold reality of COVID remains. July the 19th was meant to be a moment of celebration. Instead, we're bracing for danger.
I cannot say this powerfully or emphatically enough. This pandemic is not over. This disease, coronavirus, continues to carry risks for you and your family. We will stick to our plan to lift legal restrictions and to lift social distancing. But we expect and recommend that people wear a face covering in crowded and enclosed spaces where you come into contact with those you don't normally meet, such as on public transport.
A major change of emphasis, and not just on masks. The PM asking businesses to bring back workers more slowly and big venues to check our COVID status.
And as a matter of social responsibility, we're urging nightclubs and other venues with large crowds to make use of the NHS COVID pass.
As the rules lift, scientists too urging personal responsibility.
There is going to be what's called an exit wave. There will be a wave associated with that. And that the slower we take it, the fewer the people will have COVID, the smaller the peak will be, and the smaller the number of people who go into hospital and die. So going very slowly through this step is really essential.
What was billed as Freedom Day now with conditions attached, the Prime Minister trying to inject a heavy dose of caution into this final unlocking. As one Number 10 insider put it to me, there's no mission accomplished moment when it comes to COVID. Instead, we're moving into a new 6 months phase where we have to try to learn to live with it, opening up even as transmission and hospitalisation rates soar. But it comes with obvious risk, and the Prime Minister can't guarantee that he won't have to go back into reverse. The Labour leader thinks the PM's steering us poorly through this pandemic.
I feel very strongly at the moment that the government wants to put the country in a car without a seatbelt to get as quickly as possible to the end of the roadmap. We need a safer way, but this is, I'm afraid, still reckless.
And in Oxford, where cases are soaring, some are sceptical people will do the right thing.
You only have to look at events like the football final last night to see responsibility is not really going to be taken very seriously.
The problem is the younger ones, they're catching it, they're not as ill as us older ones, but they're damn good spreaders.
We've been the vulnerable ones now, the young people, because we're not fully vaccinated yet. So just like we had to stay at home and wear a mask for the older generations and the more vulnerable people who had to wear masks, we would appreciate the same being done for us.
From next week, it will be left to each of us to manage this pandemic. But replacing clear rules with recommendations is a risky way to navigate this third wave. The country bracing for a bumpy summer. Beth Rigby, Sky News.